had drug problems. In football, I played a pretty rough position. Well, not rough. It's no rougher than you make it for yourself or anybody else. But I played my linebacker. I went to Englewood, Tennessee. Was drafted by the Dolphins. I played in Canada for 9 years. I had a very successful career. Very grateful for it. I mean, I was very blessed with it. Just one we couldn't have drew it out in a story much better than what my life was. But through that, I got a lot of injuries. I had 3 back surgeries, 2 thigh surgeries, 3 knee. Anyhow, about 11 surgeries. And in my 7th year of football, I should have probably started getting out. And I really didn't have any drug problems as far as, I wasn't one of those guys I drank a lot of beer. That's what we did. That's what we did even back in high school, But as far as smoking pot and doing cocaine and all these other things, I really didn't have a problem with that. Now, I'd say back in, maybe in my 5th or 6th year of professional, I'd be beat up, and certainly after a game I'd do some kind of medication that may not be over the counter or prescribed by the team. And not unlike a lot of people, not saying it's right, not blaming anybody for the mistakes that I made, but and I got kind of messed up on it there for a while, for several months, but it always come back to, you got to go back to season, got to go back to school, got to go back to training camp, So I always had that ever-ending cycle that I have to stop this so I can get back to do. I always had a saying, I got to do what I got to do to get done what I have to do. So if I had to stop this, I had to go to do this, and that's what I had to do. And I was very regimented about it, and I could do it because that was my life. Football was my life, and I had a couple of battles with that. I got away from it, and then in my last 3 or 4 years of football, I was even having to take medicine before the games and shots and stuff. And it was really time for me to get out. Really time for me to get out of the game. And which actually, which was the hardest decision I ever had to do. It's either do this or do that. And knowing that I'm doing this other thing, knowing that I'm tearing myself up, I'm just hurting my body, I'm hurting my mind, I'm bringing my soul down. I'm doing all the things that I know are not right, all for this. And what it all came down to is ego, I guess. I found out 2 years ago, this August, that I had cancer. And it was just like way over my head. All of a sudden everything had hit me in my whole life. And it was just like God had pulled the carpet slap out from under me. It just like yanked it, and it was just like there was no more carpet, and I was just laying there, and there wasn't no getting up, there wasn't no turning over, there wasn't, I was just flat out on my feet, and I thought I was so alone that God would never help me. Why would he want to ever raise his hand over my head again to all the stuff I've all the hurt and pain I've caused him? We don't. And the other people, see, this is the other thing, is my wife and my family, just, you don't realize how many people that you actually hurt way and above beyond what your capabilities are. You just don't understand. And all you can do is hope and pray for their forgiveness. Some people believe the Lord comes in lightning bolts and everything, and he does to some people, but a lot of the time it's just a sweet whisper, and you just got to slow down long enough to hear the whisper. And I guess that was my problem. I wasn't slowing down. I was expecting, because everything in my life's been crash and booms inside a helmet or a motorcycle or a car or something. It's always been crashes and booms. And if the bell was still ringing, then I'm still there, But if you believe and you have enough people believing, then it just affects you. You just know that you just have an inner peace about yourself and know that it's going to be all right, and it's going to be all right even if it's not the way you want it to be. And that's the thing. That's it right there in a nutshell. It's going to be okay whether it's the way you want it to be or not. Basically, this whole thing is I don't care how far you go down the wrong track, the right track's right next door. So both of them tracks have been going in the same direction. One's just a little off center. So basically, you've been walking in the same direction, just you're not quite on the track itself. But it doesn't take much just to walk over a few steps and you're still right back on the track. And God will let you on that track 24/7.